today we're on the common test server, and what Wargaming has done is there are new pieces of equipment called experimental equipment. So these are the three pieces we have currently. There's the fire control system T1, the mobility improvement system T1, and the survival improvement suite T1. Now, if you go into details, you can see that this one is a combination of the gun laying drive and vertical stabilizers. This one is a combination of the turbocharger and the improved rotation device. And this one is a combination of the improved hardening as well as, I believe it's the modified configuration. Well, this is a really interesting choice, because what this will do is this will relieve a lot of pressure from tanks which need, or maybe they might want a turbo, they might want a rotation device, they might want a vertical stabilizer, they might want, there's already three pieces, right? Turbo, rotation device, vertical stabilizer. Maybe they want vents as well. Maybe they want to have an aiming unit, and that's 5 pieces of equipment which might be really useful on the tank, which you wouldn't have been able to use before, because obviously you've got 3 equipment slots. But now it's slightly different, because you could have a mobility improvement system which covers the turbo and the rotation device. You can have the fire control system which covers the vertical stabilizer and also gun laying drive, so maybe you might not even need vents. And then you could have the third one as an aiming unit. I'm looking at autoloaders. The hardening would be really, really good for Soviet tanks which have stupidly combustible like fuel tanks or ammo racks or whatnot. Bobject 277, 260, any of those sort of tanks, 279E. Not only that, but standard is good, but then they've also sort of got the equivalent of what you might call a bounty upgraded or a bond version, where you can spend this currency, which I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Components. You can spend components to upgrade your piece of equipment. Now, to get components, what you need to do is you need to right click, you need to disassemble, and you need to disassemble, for example, let's say I disassemble 10, whatever, I get 1,000 components. So what does that give me? What if I upgrade? So it costs 400 to upgrade to the first level. Awesome, so I've got a T2. What if I want to upgrade again? So it costs 2,000. Okay, so let's disassemble this, disassemble 10 of these, and disassemble 10 of these. Man, they make it expensive. 2,600, and upgrade that to D3. Now what I'm interested in is if these can actually go into, where's my mouse? Into the slots here. Let's say if I go into my second slot, wait for the laggy game, and I demount the improved hardening. So let's have a look at the hit points now. We have 3,470. So I demount that, demount, blah blah blah, and I go into experimental. Now there's 2 things I want to check here. The first one is show equipment. First one is T1. So that's interesting. It doesn't actually get the survivability slot, but without the survivability slot, that gives you still 30 hit points less. So what is the T3 going to give you? Really? 3,520 hit points? Okay. That feels balanced. Plus a bunch of these things. Sure, you need to disassemble a lot of the T1 ones to actually get it to this point with T3. But then you get suspension. You get suspension durability. You get You get health from... You get additional module health. You get minus 50% to penalty for modules damaged, and you get suspension repair time. Okay. Sure. What about the turbo one? Hang on a sec. Equipment. Is it this one or the mobility one? Yeah, so 4, 4 and 5 to the top forward speed. Now normally a turbo is plus... Hang on a second. So one of the things I feel like I miss in a mouse is a rotation device. So let's go into here, let's go turbo, it gives me plus 5 within the slot. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, but I can put the spool liner actually in the hardening slot. Oh, come on, game. Come on, game. That doesn't feel balanced. No, depot is what I needed. So depot, equipment. Okay, let's upgrade one of these. I'll just disassemble all of these now. I'm only going to need one. I also believe you get more for disassembling. Yeah, you get 100 for the class 1, you get 400 for the class 2, and more for the class 3. I've got 1100, so I'm going to need to... You don't even have enough to, like... get a class 1 of all these. Okay, whatever. Upgrade the T2 for 2000, sure. Awesome. So now I have a T3 one. Okay, interesting. So what happens now if I put this on my mouse? So that will go into the mobility. So let's go mobility. Here we have 1925 engine power and 27 forward. And nothing in that, so let's demount that. Remember the 1925 engine power. Okay, and go into experimental and mount the T3. Is that also interesting that class 3 gives me 1925 as well? Class 1 is actually worse than a normal turbo, but it also gives me the dispersion, the traverse speed. Interesting, okay. So it gives me better traverse speed. So it's not actually worth taking the mobility improvement thing over a turbo if you have a mobility slot. Unless it's on maybe a tank like the mouse where you might need the extra rotation speed. Now let's put this back on my other setup as well, because that is admittedly the one I would use more. Let's go for a slightly more general setup. So let's go to T3. Awesome. Let's go for the... Oh, come on, game. Being laggy today. The experimental mobility system. I'm also going to demount the gun rammer for vents because it's generally a better piece of equipment on here. So I'll just go standard vents, whatever. Make use of the slot. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try this out in a random game. Let's see which common test server is actually gonna be better for this. Common test 1, yeah, okay. Of the tanks that I have, the Bat-Chât could be really good with the not that one, the other one which I didn't upgrade. So could the VZ with the, because they both have, the Bat-Chât for example is pretty crappy aiming time here. So the aiming time is 2.4, it really feels like it holds it back for an autoloader. So if you had it, like, I'm just thinking, instead of having the improved rotation device, what would happen Interesting, you can't have the mobility improvement one. Oh wait, it's because it's drawing on a tank. Lol. Let's see what happens to this. This is just with class 1, remember? Just looking at these stats in here with the dispersion. Wait. Oh. Oh. And you go faster. What if I put this one in? Then that gets better, that gets... Even the class 1, it's just better. It makes some pieces of equipment completely redundant, which I don't like. Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't see the necessity of this being in the game. Like, what is the point? It takes away hard choices which players are forced to make with equipment, and I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, because it makes every tank, particularly tier 10 ones, be able to fulfill their potential more. I don't know, man. Oh, let's see. Let's go into a game in the mouse and see what happens. I'm going to play with the same setup, everything that I do in random games on the main server, apart from equipment. So we will see. We will see. After this, by the way, I am going to jump back onto the main server with a couple of guys from the clan, play some random games, maybe some onslaught, we'll see. This is sketchy. This is sketchy. I'm not sure I like this. But let's see how we go. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. Hopefully things aren't laggy too much. I did change bitrate settings, so if I change it too much I might need to. So on this sort of map, relatively open to artillery, so we'll go with the spore line here, which is now more effective. So I won't notice a massive difference to mobility, but I might notice a difference to 3,520 hit points. That's a lot of hit points, man. Don't like what my FPS is doing. It's because my computer's deciding not to actually run the fans. Don't know why that happens, but it does sometimes. Here we go, that's a bit better. They've got a lot of heavy tanks, but I need to fire a bit of gold here, which is okay on the test server, but... Well, let's see how this goes. 3,520 hit points is a lot. I mean, it's only 50 more than the mouse normally has, but... Even so, if you think about a tank with... Well, 400 alpha damage, what the fuck did the T-57 hit me do? The tank has 400 alpha damage. 6 shots at 400, 2,400, 8 shots 3,200, 9 shots you're getting close to, like, you're getting about 3,600. So if you're actually getting to the point where if you low roll, you're gonna live on that number of shots taken, and that is just absolutely mad. So Leo, careful with that. I'm just worried about the... Man, my FPS my FPS to the test servers is just shocking. Be careful about my little playing. Oh, we got doubled in the side. My mouse isn't even using like 3 or 440 hit points. It's like, come meet you overboard. F8. Oh my lord, my shot went so much later. Oh, wow. That's amazing. That is ping in a nutshell, man. That is ping in a nutshell. That, I think it did. Nice. Sit here, angle. Shouldn't be able to pen me here. Wait, did I auto him? I didn't even mean to. I shouldn't be able to pen me from that angle. Really should be loading gold from this. Wow, you pen that? You lucky. I'm not angling well enough then. Yeah, okay, my lower plate wasn't angled enough, that's my own fault. Man, you can go backwards so much faster, I feel. And going down a hill slope, like, I will admit that. But just... this rotation speed is, like, noticeable as... It's noticeable as well. It's absolutely noticeable. Did you get stunned from that? Be careful. I know there's an there's a griller. There is a griller. Gotta be careful. But so tempting to flank as well. Yeah, I can take a shot from the griller if I need to. Hello, level plate. 586, it's a nice run. I can see so many problems if Wargaming decides to add this into the game and then extrapolate it to all this equipment. What can I see being a problem? It's things like... it's things like lumping improved your 7's commander's vision system together. It's that sort of thing, which will absolutely break the game. Because light tanks would become stupidly OP. At the moment, no one takes IRS. Because of... Oh, I wasn't even aiming for that. No one takes IRS because it's not particularly useful compared to like the classic CVS low nose exhaust and optics, but I mean if you oh, that was a poor shot, there's a rock there. But if you, instead of putting... I mean, I just found a use for IRS though, literally in last Friday with the Exerimental Panzer wagon. I found quite a niche use for that equipment, which I was not... No, shit, the super cars gonna flag me. Maybe. Angle. They should still bounce, that's only 300. Yep. Should be a bit of pressure in. I don't want to get caught by the Leo, but... Oh, sort of artillery. I can take one shot. Nice. Oh, he pent that. That's a good shot. Probably need to angle a little bit more. But how much did you roll for 372? It's sort of like where if he low rolls that, I live. 3 points is useful on my 8. Okay, I'm not going to watch that, but I am going to go back to the garage and... yeah, I don't really care Sactic too much about if it wins or loses, or I'm just trying to test how OP how OP this is. You know what, I'm going to test it out on the Bat-Chât after the mouse comes back, but what I really want to do... So, it's minus... plus 100 to internal multi-durability. That's insane. That's actually insane. Okay, the other one I think is what I actually wanted to look at. So plus 3 to top reverse speed. Okay, so it's the same as the turbo. Interesting, -8 to dispersion of vehicle, +10 to engine power. Okay. Okay. This is... Okay, I want to do one more. I want to do it in the Bat-Chât, but I do want the equipment from the mouse just so I can actually upgrade this one from the Bat-Chât. That's what I've put on here. Yes, it is completely unfair and broken, and I don't agree with Wargaming putting this into the game at all. So what I put on here is sort of like an extra vertical stabilizer. I mean, vertical stabilizer gets 20% to -20%. English, -20% to dispersion. The improved rotation mechanism gets -10%, and this thing gets -7, unless it's upgraded, in which case it's -11.5. So it's better than a rotation device, and it gives you aiming speed. So why would I take it over the rotation device on a tank which needs the aiming speed? Does it literally just make the rotation device irrelevant, along with the mobility improvement, which also incorporates it in terms of the traverse speeds, and like that also has the dispersion -8. Yeah. This will be completely broken OP on autoloaders. It will be broken on autoloaders. And we don't have any information on how Wargaming is going to release this, apart from the fact that it'll be Battle Pass and... where is my equipment? Mouse came out, we lost. Okay, that's a shame. I did alright though, 3.2, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oh, you get... okay, so where's my equipment? So what I want to do here again is I wanted to upgrade the fire control system, right? Okay. To upgrade, I want to disassemble all of those, 14, okay, whatever, I don't care. Disassemble, and hopefully that'll be enough to... never mind. I'm going to need to disassemble as well. Oh, this is my 100 shot. 100 shot. Grr. Why you no audio? What is no audio? What audio is missing? In Discord. Oh yeah. No, that will come. I just wanted to fully focus on... I just want to fully focus on this and really going through this properly. And then... wait, the amount that gives me the extra 100. And then I will jump into Discord after... I just want to play one more game in the Bat-Chât. I want to play the one game in the Bat-Chât, and then I will... and then I will jump into the Discord. That is going to happen. I'm just clicking on the wrong buttons at the moment. Disassemble that one so I can upgrade. No, whoa. That's the wrong button. Upgrade. Put that on the Bat-Chât, along with the optics and vert stubs, and just see how the gun feels. Hopefully you get an OK map for it. Okay, let's go. Hopefully I get an OK map for it. Yeah, we'll see. This will be interesting. This will be very interesting. It's like this sort of tank. Also, the VZ55 would benefit greatly from this. The VZ55 would benefit greatly. Any tank which is like an autoloader with a short entry clip but doesn't have great aim time, or has got poor dispersion values, will really benefit from this instead of a rotation device, because one of the best combinations for autoloaders is vert stubs and rotation device if you feel like you got the equipment sorts for it. Bat-Chât's probably the biggest one I can think of. Good thing that I have it in my garage already. Actually, Stackdeck, if you wanna jump into Discord, I'm happy to unmute myself if you wanna chat about it for a little bit. Wait, I just realized I'm missing something. Never mind. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Wait, you can use chat in this contest? Normally you can't. What the fuck? I'm surprised because normally in the contest server you can't actually use the chat. Normally everyone's just automatically chat banned. This is weird. Problem is I'm not gonna be able to hit anything because I don't have. I'm actually gonna go the full way down, I think. Everything's shiny. Contest things. It's a TD position, but might help. I'm testing. I'm not actually trying to win the game. I'm not actually trying to win the game. I really probably should be, but I want to at least get a couple of shots off. I had the shot, and my mouse sensitivity is too high, so I didn't take the shot. That was really stupid of me. Okay, mouse sensitivity down a little bit. There we go. Oh, I can't aim with this pin. I have to allow so much for the pin here. Like, I'm shooting, like, 10 meters in front of the tank and it's going behind. Like, what am I supposed to do? But the aiming speed is comfortable. Not something I would normally say about this tank. Manty. Leopard. Yeah, I need to move into a different position. It's just not quite the position for this tank. Where's that layer? I'm gonna go get that layer. But I don't want to get spotted by the mantis. That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem, yeah. So if that mantis just spots people, as they should do. Command camera. ST got a hit for. I guess it was the FE on the side, I guess it was the 405. Oh wow, that aiming speed is insanely better. I'm not focused at all on the game, am I? Where is that mantis going? That hit. Oh wow. Oh wow, that is not something you would normally be able to do in a Bat-Chât. That is not something you would normally be able to do in a Bat-Chât. At least not reliably. The fact that I can do that with 300 ping now is concerning, to say the least. Initial thoughts about this change, I don't like it. Okay, Sunky, I will unmute in Discord. Fine. Hi.
Hello.
This
So
is
as you were talking in Twitch, the delay made it so that you talk now, but you were still talking in Twitch as well. So I thought it was like a sound bit or something.
Hopefully the video quality is slightly better this week.
Well, I've got it on 160p, so.
Well, okay. Because I realised I was actually had it in 1080p 60 FPS, but the video bitrate was shocking. And I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I should actually be going like a better bitrate, because if my computer can handle 1080p, I actually thought it was on 720. So anyway, I don't. I'm majorly disagreeing with these equipment changes or additions at the moment. Like, I hardly have to aim on the Bat-Chât 25T, and that's normally a tank which is notorious for poor aim time on its shells. Like, this is stupid. This is actually stupid. I dislike... No, I'm not going to say... It's going to make tanks a whole lot easier and more convenient to play, but it's also going to take out all of the tough equipment choices that tanks might have. So I don't know, man. I don't think this is a good change for the game. Oh, I need to try one more thing. Oh, actually, no, I already know the answer to it. Never mind. I was going to say maybe I should try the one which sort of incorporates the turbo and the EBR, but I remember reading in the Wargaming article that you can't actually do that.
Oh.
It keeps the same restrictions. Is that 268 version 4? Hello. Okay, I didn't aim that well. Fine. Now I'm fully aimed on your rear. And I hardly bloom because of this equipment. Am I right? Firstly because of this equipment, and then secondly because of... the aim time is just so low. This is... That was a poor shot. What? How do I non-pen the rear of an IS-4? Anyway, I think that shows you enough. It's not good. It's not good for the game, man. It's not good for the game. What is Aki Envy? Oh yeah, so pretty much tactic what happens on the common test server is the clans are all different because they have to be like globalized. They get all of these codes.
Yeah.
So like Paul changes to Akim. I don't know really what that is.
No, I think it's just a random collection of letters. It's
Random.
not actually a word. Oh, that's a... Okay.
Anyway, thoughts on this? It's not good for the game. I don't know how many times I need to say that, but I'm going to say it once more. The class 3 of them is very good. I reckon the class 1 will be useful, but the class 1 might be that sort of position where you'd consider dropping a standard piece of equipment for it, or you might not, purely because it won't have enough benefit over the standard piece of equipment to actually warrant taking it, apart from the fact that it incorporates 2. So it's the trade-off of your equipment won't be as good, but it incorporates more things. Whereas when you get to the class 3, your equipment is better than the standard ones, and it incorporates more things. So... I mean, if Wargaming makes this really easy for everyone to get, then I guess it balances it a little bit, but even so. I honestly don't think Wargaming should be putting it into the game. Like 3,520 hit points on a mouse with extra rotation speed.
Oh yeah, nice.
And 100 plus 100% to internal durability and 70% to repair speed. Bat-Chât, which can actually aim at, what, 2.21 seconds, and has minus 32% to dispersion during vehicle traverse. Like, come on. I don't like this. Stactic says boo Wargaming. I agree, Stactic. That is very, very accurate.